So what do you think will be your main takeaway from this season, which was crazy in many ways, impression for you?
Really just taking away that we got a real scrappy team. Like I know that no matter what the situation is going into next year, that the team is going to fight, claw, and scratch it. No matter if we're up by 10 points or whether we're down by 14, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to fight until the clock strikes zero in the fourth quarter. Because until then, that's only when your opportunity ends. And until that, you have a chance to win the game, especially with Shane.
How much of a relief is it for you that you're kind of entering the offseason on a clean slate? This time you weren't on IR battling an injury, really like a significant one. Like it's kind of business as usual for you again.
Yeah, that's huge. Anytime you can end the offseason and not have to really take time away from getting better at your craft and spend time actually getting your body back into, regular form and feeling good, that's always a plus because then you have that much more time to really hone in on your craft or whatever you want to specifically get better at rather than like, shoot, I gotta get my body functioning first.
How did you kind of navigate through those injuries you had during the season this year? I mean, obviously the thumb was a big one. How much did that kind of interrupt your flow, and how did you deal with those frustrations?
Really just extra time, just getting up earlier, just getting into treatment earlier so maybe you can hit treatment before meetings in the morning. I really do feel like me and the preparation and the body maintenance that I do played a huge role in being able to navigate that this season. Especially, thankfully, with it being a thumb, just being able to, not need major treatment on it. It's just, hey, we need to do the things we need to protect it, but then also every week to maintain it and get it back into playing shape.
How much different is it, or how much more at ease are you going into this offseason where there's no questions about a contract or any of that? You can just sort of lock into being here.
Well, like you said, you can lock into being here. So as far as, setting roots, in the community, and, already being a presence in the community, but really setting roots and being able to establish things. I mean, you guys look at what, Shaq has done in the past, Zaire, currently, Kenny, like guys like that, just guys who've been here for a while, Ryan Kelly, being able to really be a presence and a force in this community. Any place that, I'm at for a significant amount of time, I like to call home. So I like to call Indianapolis my third home.
Not knowing how things are going to shake out, but the anticipation, and Shane talked about it, of you and AR together. I think you had one play.
I mean, isn't it just kind of
The optimism of what this team can do with both of you guys in any pit?
Yeah, it's going to be a really awesome sight to see. I'm excited to get more work with AR. Just from watching the tape and in person, what I saw. He's very, very talented, but he's also eager to learn. I'm sure you guys have heard. I mean, he's always walking around with an iPad in his hand, or he's walking right next to coach, and he's trying to learn. He wants to learn. So anytime you got someone talented like that, but also with that hunger to learn, guys got to watch out because those are the ones you got to watch out for.
One guy who is looking at free agency is Michael Pittman. Just curious what he's meant to you being here. What's it like to be a running back playing with a receiver, the things he can do?
Pitt has been a lot. We came in together. Every single year, he's just proven it. He's proven it every single year. I know timing is a big thing, and being familiar with the quarterback. Every single year, he's had a different quarterback under center, and he's been able to consistently prove, like, hey, I can be a playmaker for this team. I can be a playmaker in this league, and I think it shows that. I know everything will work out for Pitt because the toughness he shows, the type of teammate he is, I don't know why you wouldn't want him in your building. I know I would.
What did you sense from the offensive line this year? And kind of like their collective mentality as the guy running behind them?
Number one is a group that's relentless. And I think that, people saw that again this year, is that this group is going to be able to come into any game and really establish a line of scrimmage and take control of it. It starts and stops, in the trenches. That's where this game is won at. It's in the trenches. And I think that this group has shown this year that, hey, we are that group that when you see us step on the field, just know the line of scrimmage is already won. It was already won, not only from our physical talents, but the way that we prepared, and the way that we mentally prepare to know what you're going to throw at us, and we have answers for it.
JT, what was it like to maybe just get a glimpse of a guy as athletic as AR? Like, I would imagine throughout your life, you've been probably the most athletic guy on your team, and you see another guy who's like an alien.
You see someone like that, and you're like, okay, you know, he's not a traditional quarterback, and he's able to make not just plays with his legs. I just keep thinking about the Los Angeles, with Donald coming down the pipe, and he stood tall in the pocket to deliver that ball. I mean, and it was insane to see the accuracy that the ball was thrown with, velocity, I was like, okay, that's special. That's special because there's not too many veteran quarterbacks, that would see a guy like that coming straight down the pipe in the A-gap and stand tall in the pocket and deliver a ball like that. But then also how he is as a person. I mean, like I said, he's eager to learn. Number 4 overall pick. I mean, you're on top of the world, but he came in with a humbleness and knowing, like, hey, there's a lot I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you everything I got to make sure that I learn it and I do it at a high level.
You guys as a running team, I mean, how different do the lanes look potentially with just the threat of Anthony being out there and you in the same backfield?
I think that just depends on the defense, whether you choose to respect it or not. I can't say I hope you do respect it, because if you do, I mean, it's a bad deal either way. So I guess it's going to be all on the defense. I mean, whatever you choose to respect, you got to pick your poison.
I know you've been a big fan of Shane as a play caller, so what excites you about what he can do with Anthony's skill set?
I think it's really just being able to maximize it. I think that's what he did this season as well, is, what personnel do we have on the field? Who's in our locker room? How can I maximize it? Just forget, let me just call some plays that I really like. It's, okay, who do we have and how can I maximize the talent of the guys that I have available? And I think when you have a coach that thinks like that, that's when it gets dangerous, because it doesn't matter, okay, we're just going to run this play. Let's call in the haul it. It's no, okay, we got 12 personnel. Okay, we're going to run this play because we have these guys in, and I know that every position I have each person in, they excel at. So when you have someone that thinks like that, anything's possible. I mean, you guys can already see, from last year to this year, just those changes. So imagine next year when we have another year under our belt, being able to all work together.
JT, it's kind of tough for Anthony. Like, he comes in as a starter, he's a rookie, then he gets hurt, and then it's Gardner's team, but it's going to be his team again. Like, how did you see him kind of navigate that behind the scenes?
Really, I think him just being able to learn. I mean, now he was in the position of, I need to get healthy, but until now, I can watch someone he's played a lot of ball. Ernest played a lot of football, and at a high level too. He's played. You guys have seen the plays that Gardner can make day in and day out. So just for him to be able to sit back and watch, I think it was just a lesson for him. I think it was a lesson for him to just learn how to navigate the NFL as a starting NFL quarterback, while getting his body healthy and being able to get back to that physical specimen that he is. That talented person that he is, but being able to get, I guess, mental reps. Almost like a walkthrough. He's able to get mental reps, which I think is vital for a young quarterback.
What do you think Zach Moss showed this season entering free agency? He said he obviously would love to come back and play with you all, but he has to weigh his options. And what do you think he's shown as a top back at points this season? But
like you said, I think he's shown that he's a top back. And I think he showed that he can. I mean, was it the Baltimore game? I think he played every snap. I don't know how many running backs are really playing every single snap. So I just think he shows his toughness. I think he showed his playmaking ability. I mean, you guys saw. Really, I've been telling you guys all year long. I mean, his footwork is crazy, especially just like with the spin move. But he showed the long distance speed. He's broken off long runs. I mean, he showed that he can do it all. I mean, the touchdown catch versus Baltimore. I mean, he's shown his hands. He's shown that he can be a great back in this league. And I know that all 32 teams saw that, but I know Indianapolis Colts saw that for sure.
Do you feel like you guys reestablished that demeanor this year, that edge, between you, the offensive line, and identity, I guess, that, people know they got to buckle up when they play?
Definitely. I think we did, and more so for ourselves. I know that the players wanted to kind of get back into that form from last season. So being able to no matter the situation that we were faced with this year with guys being out, it's, hey, we need to get back to what the Indianapolis Colts do and what our identity is. And I think we wanted to do that for ourselves because we all know we didn't play our best last year. So we wanted to just prove to ourselves, like, hey, let's put the work in this offseason and let's make sure we come back, talking about this past season, let's come back and just show, like, hey, this is who we are. Let's not forget that.
Sorry. As someone who's worn the horseshoe for so long, how do you think Shane Steichen has really integrated into that specifically, just what it means to be a Colt and be a part of this organization?
I think he's done a great job of being able to really accept the traditions that we have here, but also bring in that new edge of, listen, this is what it takes, like, to be great. You know, you have to demand greatness day in and day out. You have to know, listen, we're going to win this game, not because we're just going to go out there and do our best and hope that we win. Is no, the way we prepare, the way that we practice, that's how we're going to win the game. Because when we get into the game and our talents take over, we know we're going to fall back on our training and preparation. So I think that's what Shane kind of brought to this team, is understanding it's the way you prepare, it's the way you practice. That's why you know you're going to win the game. You know, you're not just being confident because we think we're better. It's no, we know we're better because the way we prepare and the way we practice.
JC, what do you think you learned? What do you think you learned about yourself, just going from the end of last season, throughout the contract stuff, throughout the injury stuff, to getting on the cusp of the playoffs till now? Like, how do you think you've grown or maybe learned about who you are?
I've grown a lot, especially just being able to lean on people, being able to lean on your teammates. Through the business side, through the injuries, being able to lean on veterans, DeForest, you know, Ryan Kelly, just guys who have gone through injuries, or maybe the business side of things. Hey, I know I can lean on my teammates, not just on the field, but off of the field. And I think that's a big testament not only to the guys in the locker room, but to the organization as well, because they're the ones going through the process on who do we bring in these walls. And I think that is a big thing, is you got to have a great process on who to bring through these walls. And I think that the organization has done a great job of that. But also shout out to my teammates for helping support me. You know, when I have questions like, hey, how did you handle this situation? Or, you know, did you have this injury? What did you do to help maintain it? They've been a huge help.
JT, you guys walked out of the stadium on Saturday, knowing that you missed the playoffs, but when on Sunday you found out you could have won the division. How difficult is it to stomach that? How much do you use that as motivation?
It's tough, especially because we played Saturday. So the way, you know, at least the way I thought about it is, I just wanted to get in. So it didn't really matter, who won or didn't win, you know, that game, because we would have had to take care of business first regardless. And I think that kind of made it easier to kind of drown everything out, because no matter what had happened, we needed to take care of business first on Saturday. And I think that was perfect, rather than have guys go into the game thinking, oh, if we win this game, you know, we have the division. It's no, don't worry about anything else. Your sole focus should be putting all your energy, efforts, and time to making sure you're at your best, so that this Saturday we can get this win. But I think it's fuel. I know the younger guys, they're like, man, you know, we missed it, and they'll use that as fuel. But for some of the vets, think of being able to convey to the younger guys, like, you guys didn't really get a taste of what that playoff football is like. But if you did get a taste of that before, just know everything you got, like this off season, mentally, physically, everything you got to prepare your body, prepare your mind, because it's going to be a long season, because we're going to make it a long season. You know, you got to get that through your head right now.